I'll take you home with my one-eyed fork.
Hello, this is Dr. J. Today's overview is going to be on Chapter 2, City-States, Empires, and Mound Builders. Let's talk about the Aztec. Tenochtitlan, the city in the lake, was the capital of the Aztec. The Aztecs' impact on the world is very significant. Not only did the Aztec give to the Spanish their first contact with multiple types of different new peppers, but also significant architecture. This was the Venice of the New World. The Aztec legend of an eagle devouring a snake while standing on a cactus would determine where they should build their city. The Aztec, in their Nahuatl language, called themselves Mexica. Their language is Ch2Sec1. And now that legend you can see on the flag of Mexico. One of the most significant tribal nations was that of the Maya. The Mayan language would contribute over 60 different languages, spreading from the Yucatan all the way through the Central Americas. The current English language has 26 letters, symbols that are derived from Phoenicia, Latin, and Greek. The Mayan language, they wrote using 800 individual signs and glyphs. The writing was from left to right, top to bottom, where the paired glyphs would form words. The Maya were so advanced that their mathematics had already utilized the concept of zero as early as 350 AD. Europeans would rediscover the concept from the Ottomans in the 1100s. The Inca had built over 25,000 miles of highways across the empire. In addition, their sky city of Machu Picchu has marveled the world since its rediscovery. The Mound Builders. Cahokia is a mound city that at its zenith was larger than London. The main pyramid mound took over 300 years to construct and is larger at the base than the Great Pyramid in Egypt. There are over 100 mounds at the site alone. The Central States Archaeological Journal states that there are over 100,000 mounds on Turtle Island. Mounds were built as early as 6,550 years ago, 1,700 years before the Egyptians built their pyramids. Trade routes from Tenochtitlan, the pyramid site, extend across Texas to the Gulf Coast trade routes, north up to the Natchez Trace into Kentucky. The western El Camino Real extended beyond Arizona into Nevada. The trade routes for turquoise are one of the main trade items. The Spanish conquistadors had invaded the Aztec, Maya, and Inca, which had provided enormous amounts of wealth. The ransom for Atahualpa, who was the Aztec king, if you will, and when he was taken prisoner, they provided a ransom of a room that was 17 feet by 22 feet by 8 feet high, and they filled it with gold and silver. He was still killed later. The Spanish conquistadors began hearing stories of cities of gold to their north of the Aztec. The famed cities of Cibola caused them to turn north. In 1539, De Soto arrived in Florida, and the invasion of the Mississippian cultures took place the following year in 1540. In the west, Coronado began his invasion of the Arizona tribes that same year. Coronado was famous for having attacked a rebellion by Indian and black slaves working in the mines. And he led 300, and as a result, he was able to get enough money to take 300 Spaniards and 1,000 Aztec allies in his invasion to the north. De Soto in the east begins by invading the Muskogee. The Muskogee tribes to the north, as we mentioned, were a confederacy of over 80 tribal towns. After burning people at the stake, he then turned north to the Cherokee. De Soto then turned south to the Choctaw and the Chickasaw. Tuscaloosa will be discussed in the next text, as well as Tuscaloosa.